This is Sarah from the Augusta County Library, and we are doing a field trip to Staunton for our virtual program today. I'm here in downtown Staunton at the Staunton Augusta Art Center with Angus Carter, who is an artist and works with the Augusta Art Center. Angus, can you tell us some of what you do?
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us today. We are an organization devoted to the arts in the Staunton Augusta area. We do things like put on exhibits of local and nationally known artists. We do a lot of kids programs, and we do a lot of events like Art in the Park.
So you aren't able to do Art in the Park this year because of the pandemic. Are you doing something different?
Well, we can't do a lot of things because of the pandemic, but we switched them all online. Right now on our website we have 2 free art exhibits that you can check out. And for Art in the Park, we will be focusing on the artists that would be in Art in the Park all summer long on our Facebook, and we'll have a virtual gallery on our website that you can view those artists have too. We are also doing things like free weekly kids art contests and things like kids art classes that we are in the process of figuring out and should have figured out by July. But speaking of the weekly art contest, I believe you guys are helping us with this week.
Yeah, so we're hosting the Staunton Augusta Art Center art contest this week, and the theme is books. So if you guys would like to create some art that goes around the theme of books, you can submit it through the Facebook page. And
sorry about the truck noise, we are outside.
And we can't wait to see what art you guys come up with.
I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see all the wonderful book art you guys do.
Awesome. Well, Angus, so you have a studio down here in Staunton, and you have an art exhibit coming up pretty soon.
Yes, I'm actually going to be the first artist when we open back up here. It's going to be limited capacity, a little bit downsized, but still going to open up. And would you like to take a look at the studio?
Yeah, we'd love to see what you're doing.
Let's do it. Come on, guys. Hey guys, welcome down to my studio. As you can see, it's a little messy. Some artists really enjoy having everything neatly organized. Others thrive in chaos. I'm obviously of the latter half and thrive in chaos. Now that you're down here though, I thought I'd show you how you start and complete a painting. First I should say there's no wrong way to do a painting. Just some common practices. First step is you find your canvas, and then you take gesso and cover the canvas. Gesso allows the paint to adhere to the canvas and allows a nice smooth surface or textured surface, depending on what you're going for. Basically, this part is pretty self-explanatory. You basically cover the canvas in gesso. You can give it a couple coats if you want. Give it heavy, give it loose. Really up to you. Once you have a piece covered in gesso though, you can either sand it down and get it nice and smooth, or you can continue adding gesso to it and build up the texture. It's really up to you. Again, there's no wrong way to do this. Once you get it nice and covered with gesso though, we'll move on to the next step. Alright, now that you've got your canvas covered in gesso, and you've let it dry and hardened, got it smoothed down or added up however you want, the next step is actually sketching out what you want to paint. You can use multiple tools, graphite, pencil, charcoal, and just sketch it on. Pencil, graphite, or charcoal. You don't have to be too precise on this. You're going back over with paint. You can get as loose, cover huge swaths with the charcoal, or do fine details with a pencil. Really up to you. And if you're going for something abstract, you might not even want to sketch it out. You might want to just skip to the next step. Again, there's no wrong way to do a painting. Just have at it. Get your idea down. Alright, now that you've got something sketched out, switch to a new piece here so I can just skip ahead a little. Next step is adding in color. You see I have 2 loose figures added out. Now, making this a little more abstract, so I'm not going to be too intense here, but if you want to make it a little more realistic, you can start with blue of a sky, just add it in. I'm going to add details in later so you can hit your figure as much as you want. Doesn't really matter that much. Right now we're just going for lots of colors. But again, I'm going a little more abstract, so I'm going to add in a different color blue here. As you go, you can blend it together if you want, or you could just leave solid blocks. It's really up to you. Point is, once you get something sketched out, that's when you go and you start adding in color and defining your piece a little. Alright, now that we have some paint laid out, rough outline, now is when you go back and you start working in on your detail. You again and switch to another piece, letting the other ones dry, letting the gesso dry, gonna rework the sketch that we did a little bit earlier, so I'm gonna move on to this one now. But as you can see, I have my outlines here, blocks of color. Now I'm gonna go in and actually start to add detail. Start using little finer brushes at this point. You start getting a little more meticulous how you do stuff. Here's where the fine workmanship actually comes in. Right now, I'm just outlining some of these, adding in little blocks of color here and there that I'm going to continue to rework, just giving you guys a sense of how it goes now. But as you're doing this, you can do things like shading at this point, actually adding in lines of the faces, details. This is where you actually start to get a finished piece. The more you work it, the finer it becomes. And you can end up with something as detailed as you want, like this, or as abstract as you want, like this. Really, the world's the limit. Basic process is always the same though. Start out gesso, start out sketching, and then adding color and details. I hope that gives you kids some idea of what it's like being a painter and what I do all day and what it takes to make a finished painting. And with that, we'll head back down to the Art Center and talk to Sarah about some books a little bit more. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to make some art now. Since we were just talking about Matisse and the collages that he did out of solid colors, we figured we'd make some collages. It's a pretty simple process that you can do with things that you probably have lying around the house. You just need a few things like scissors, which you should ask your parents for, maybe even use safety scissors, glue sticks, and some stuff like junk mail, old magazines, or books.
So we're using books that that have gotten kind of beat up. This one's ripped, it's been colored
This one
on.
has no cover.
Yeah,
They're pretty bad shape.
These are not in good shape, but they do have some cool pictures in them that we can use for our collages. Yeah.
One thing you never want to do is cut up library books.
No, please don't ever cut up anything you have checked out from the library. But you can find books at Goodwill or in the Friends of the Library book sale that are probably not in the best shape and that could have some cool pictures and photos that you could cut out and use for collage. So let's get started.
So once you have all your materials together, you just kind of go through and you start cutting stuff out. You can cut out solid blocks of color like Matisse did, or you can cut out some photos like some other collage artists have done. And you can either make these very detailed, cut them very precisely along the contours, or you can leave a lot of background images in. It's really up to you. You can also just cut out random colors and patterns that you think look cool. And I'm gonna get started.
Well, speaking of colors and patterns, I wanted to tell you about one of my favorite children's book authors and illustrators, Ezra Jack Keats. This is a collection of his works, and he actually illustrated his books using collage. And this is of him right here. And he has a really famous book that you might have seen before, and he illustrated it using cut-out paper. It's called The Snowy Day. And you can tell if you look at the pictures how he used collage to cut out different shapes and images and make patterns. Look how cool the wallpaper is in this one. They're really, really beautiful illustrations, bright and colorful, and they look like they could even be made with some construction paper or other things that you probably have lying around. So something you could do is create your own book using collage for the pictures. And another thing you can also do with old books or magazines is cut out the words and make some found poetry using some of the lines and words in things that you're cutting up. So this is such a wonderful book. We have lots of his books at the library that you can check out. And yeah, I think he's a really interesting
I like him a lot.
person. So, Angus, why don't you tell us some more about the process of
Okay.
making collages?
Well, just cut out a few stuff while Sarah was telling you about the book, and had a lot more that I cut out before. Even just like scraps like that look cool. The more stuff that you have cut out, the more stuff that you have to choose from. And basically from there, you just end up taking a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to use the open section of this book, and you just arrange your images until you find a pattern that you like. There's no real set rules, just something that you think looks cool. And you can move them around as much as you want. You can make them solid colors, photos, combination of the two. But you just kind of keep layering them all on top of each other until you find something that you like. And then you peel them back, and you take your glue stick, and you start gluing them down. And that's basically the entire process. And we have some here that we made before we got started to show you how they end up being.
So this is the one I made. They're still a little bit tight.
Yeah, you need to let them dry a little bit. But that one's pretty detailed. You have rails, some poetry, some random colors, and then a few scraps left over. Nothing special, but just kind of fun. And then a more minimalist, that just solid colors and shapes.
That's great. Elvis.
I ended up with an Elvis book. It's always fun finding musicians. But that's the basic process to make them as detailed as you want or as minimal as you want.
So we're asking you guys to make a collage, and we can't wait to see what you come up with. You can submit them on our Facebook page or to the library zine, or
we're doing the weekly art contest at the Staunton Augusta Art Center, and this week we're partnering with the library, and the theme of the week is books. So a book collage would be kind of perfect.
yeah, or you can do both. So we can't wait to see what you guys come up with.
I really look forward to it.
Thank you, Angus, for helping us out today. Thank you guys for watching, and we are excited to see your collages, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.